The error ID problems are the hardest part of the writing section on the SAT, and there's a reason for that. You don't have other answers to check your frame of reference and see whether you might be right or wrong. So, there's a way that you can go through this very strategically to get a perfect score on this section, but you have to follow this exact strategy. So here it is. Number one, you have to read through the entire thing all the way through, from front to end. Even if you think something sounds weird, don't stop. A lot of times they'll put a really, really weird one up front, and then they'll put a blatantly wrong one later on. Something like, Danny, since back in the day, underlined, has always been for sandwich liking. So the for sandwich liking is clearly terrible, but the back in the day might make you want to stop and say, wait a minute, I say that, but is that grammatically correct? All right, next up. Once you're done all the way through, if you found your answer, if you found what you think is wrong, follow this process. There's only one thing you need to do. Ask yourself, is there a better replacement for this? If something's wrong, you'll be able to come up with something better to put in its place. If it's not wrong, it might just be kind of weird. So ask yourself that. You speak English, so if it's wrong, you'll know a better way to do it or a good replacement. If not, it might just be bizarre. Now, if you knock that one out and you know it's not wrong, or if you didn't see anything wrong in the first run through, you have to be very methodical. So go A, B, C, D, all the way through, and ask yourself on every single question, is there something that I would replace this with that would make the sentence better? Is there an objective error here? Remember, wrong means wrong, not weird. So just because something sounds a little bit funny doesn't mean it's breaking any grammatical rules. You should also ask yourself, what grammatical rule is being broken here? If there's not a rule being broken, it's not wrong. You know all the rules. Subconsciously, if you're a native English speaker, you will know. And finally, if you go through this methodical process and nothing's wrong, guess what? The answer is E. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't pick an answer. And I repeat, please don't pick an answer just because you don't want to pick E. Just because you say, oh, that's a cop-out. It's one of 5 answers. It's a totally legitimate option. So if you go through, if nothing caught your radar all the way down, and if nothing catches your eye after you're kind of going through, the answer is E, pick that, and you're done. And if you follow this process for every single one of these problems, you're going to absolutely rock this section. Cheers.